This is Jim Starlin's Warlock. This is a giant size, as you can see how big it is compared to my hand. Big sized edition. I have to thank one of my childhood friends, who I still know now, John Tamblin, for giving me the first issue of Warlock by Jim Starlin. It was a deluxe edition, I remember. The printing was really good. And it was strange because I remember not being totally into Starlin when he gave it to me. And I was going, look, man, you should keep that. But I'm glad he gave it to me because I kept finding myself looking at it. And after a while, I realized, wow, this guy's actually really good. And it became very inspirational, that book, actually. It's still up there with one of my favorite issues of this compilation, actually. The first issue, I guess, he's jumping all in and, doing some awesome stuff right from the get-go, right? It was really a really cool book. So when this came out, I thought, you know what? I hadn't picked up any more of the Warlocks. I did enjoy that book. So I thought this is a time to get the rest of them, and dang, some of this stuff is really cool, I have to say. So here we are. Jim Starlin's Warlock. Yeah. I only pretty much read the first issue, actually, but I had to pick this up just because I just love the art so much. But so I haven't really read through the rest of it. But so this is the issue that I had. It's so good. It's just these backgrounds. It's just so good. Jim Starlin, man, was a pretty awesome artist at his time, I have to say. Although I have to say this is some of my favorite stuff he's done. But although he's done some cool painted work as well. I don't know if it was in Epic or I believe with Epic magazine, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he's a pretty cool artist, actually. Yeah, he's really good. But this is too cool. Yeah, so we're just gonna flip through some of this art, and I love his use of these long panels. Yeah, and it's such a great cosmic adventure. It's just so much fun. It's introduction of another main character. Great aliens. I love his aliens. So cool. Again, these long panels, which I think are they just look great. They're so innovative for their time as well. But yeah, very cool. It's almost like sideways letterboxing, Even longer than that, though. But yeah, they just look great. Of course, it all depends on what's in them as well. But the artwork itself is very cool. So this is, we're just going to flip through it. We're going to check it all out. Yeah. I'm not going to talk too much about the story. Again, I've only read the first issue anyway, so... Dark Magus or something like that, I think. For I am the Magus! Yeah. I do know something about the Magus, though, that I won't give away. Very interesting character. He's not what he seems. That's all I will say. This is just great. Look at that. It's so great. Bunch of these they almost look like orcs or something right out of a fantasy story. Actually, it looks. Actually, this style, like his work, would have been so good for like a Dungeons and Dragons type of story. My goodness, just would work perfectly. Look somewhere between orcs and maybe demons or something. Things he's fighting. Aliens. It's all aliens. It's all sci-fi stuff, right? So they are aliens. Nice silhouetting on this picture here. Actually, that's great. Nicely done. Good figure, actually, too. I love the shadows on his face there. Very, very distinct way of doing anatomy he has at times. Where everything's very defined, and I mean those are a lot of extra muscles going on in there, but very defining the rib area there. But very cool though. Wait, you know what? I think the book he gave me, it was a compilation, I think, of a couple of issues, because this is another issue, because it was a deluxe format, and this was part of it. So it was obviously some sort of, yeah. Okay, I'm remembering it wrong. Yeah, so it wasn't the first issue. It was actually, like I said, it was a deluxe book. So I think it was a compilation of maybe the first little story arc or something. But yeah, because this was part of it. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it was. Yeah, because I'm sure it was. Yeah, because I've always loved that shot. It's like, my goodness. Yeah. I find it odd that when I first saw stuff, there was something about it that didn't fully appeal to me, because now I don't even see how that was the case. It's it grew on me pretty quickly. Like, he gave me the book, so I went, okay, fine, and he just wouldn't take no for an answer, and then it took me a few times looking at it, and I kept being drawn to look at it again. I'm like, oh, actually, he's really good. Yeah, I mean, I was into Michael Golden and John Byrne at the time. Yeah, so, and Bill Willingham, actually, because I think he was doing, was it around the same time he was doing Elementals? I don't know. So there was sort of a certain style I was heavily into, and his was a little different, so, yeah. Although I did like some of the more experimental artists as well, like Bill Sienkiewicz, and actually he was actually one of my faves, so, Kent Williams, actually, he was a little later, I think, yeah, but still. Anyway. Yeah, so here, let's just keep going. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, I'm spending a little too much time, maybe. Some great faces there, nice silhouetted, nice shadows. Yeah, that's an interesting layout. It's a little different than you normally see with these circles with just stars in the background, giving it a nice cosmic vibe. Two cosmic, powerful beings, perhaps, fighting. It's kind of adding to that feel. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah, let's just keep going. Yep. Let's just keep going. That's pretty cool. Some nice shading there. Always loved this character, Pip, I think his name was. Was it Pip? It's been so long. He's cool. He's a cool character. I think he appeared in one of the new films, too. So, one of the new Marvel movies. Yeah, this was part of it, too, the book that I had. I do remember this. This is great. Again, I just love that kind of scene. He's in some alien city filled with different type of aliens. Like, how inspiring and cool is that, right? It's like a Star Wars moment, almost, It's great. It's great. This is cool. I like that. A lot of text there, but I like this long, almost like one panel with a bunch of different pictures. Like, it's not divided. I kind of like the look of that. It's like really cool, and it's recapping. I think that's what it's about. So it's a neat way of doing that. But I'll be honest, that would be cool if that was literally, the comic. Like, if that was happening right now, like, and that's the way they told it. Nothing wrong with that. It looks really cool. Yeah, I personally like playing with panels in that respect. I sometimes like to have no white borders and either combine panels, like almost like a collage, or just have black lines, either straight or some kind of strange, something different, like hand drawn kind of stuff. But yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, here's some more of those panels. They look so nice. Very cool stuff. And I believe that is where the book, so from there to there, is the book that I have. It's a compilation of this right here. All compiled into one book. That was the last, and then there was one big pin up next to it that I thought was part of it, which it worked so perfect. I wonder if I could show you that. It's like he drops in darkness, looks up, and then I wonder where that picture is, actually. No, it'll be too hard to find. If I thought of this beforehand, I would have. I think it's at the end because it's a pinup. So I think it's at the end. So I'm gonna quickly try to. Nah, it's not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen. Well, anyway, regardless, there was a page that I thought was part of it because it worked so perfectly with this shot. Because he drops and it's black, and he looks up, and then you're wondering there, then abruptly there is light, and there was a shot of him in black and white, I think, if I remember, with splatter, standing on some sort of rock. It's almost like that's where you're assuming he was, it was now, that's where he is from the scene. But it also looked symbolic somehow. Like it was somehow, it ended off with this symbolic pinup or something. It was just, but I thought it was part of it, but it felt like a symbolic image almost. Like, and I always thought it just was cool looking and felt deep somehow. But then it turns out, when I got this book recently, it turns out that that's actually just a pinup because they put it in here as a pinup, right? So I'm like, oh, that was never meant to be part of the story. Oh, that's interesting, but it just worked. It felt dramatic. That's what it was. It felt so dramatic, going from this. It's like then abruptly there was light, and then you're seeing what he sees in a sense, but you actually don't see what he sees, right? You're seeing him further back, gazing forward. And it just felt so dramatic, and I was so sure it was part of it at the time. And I think it was just black and white, so it was very heavy blacks. And it was splatter and stuff again. There was white splatter on the black. It was so cool, like the feeling it left me with, right? Having that as the last shot of the story. And you're still not seeing what he's looking at exactly, right? So it's just very dramatic. But it was just a pinup. It was just a cool shot of him. Yeah. Interesting. I'm sure that just that moment might have guided some of my storytelling, thinking it was intentional, right? I mean, I do some interesting dramatic effects and whatnot, playing with visuals that are more symbolic. Maybe that was one of the things that led me that way. Who knows? But it wasn't intended that way. But yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Is this recapping again, or is this actually happening? Because it looks sort of like that's the same guy. Yeah, so let's keep going. Yeah, but anyway, this would be look cool if that was actual just happening right now as opposed to being a recap. I think it is a recap. I'm not sure. I think it is. Yeah, I think every issue it's at the beginning has a recap. It's kind of neat. I remember seeing some sort of a video, them talking about a message he was trying to convey that had to do, I don't remember exactly now, but something to do with the industry itself. It was kind of a personal message he was conveying with this particular story, but I don't remember the details of that. It was super interesting though. Regardless, I think it was something against an editor or something. No, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I honestly don't remember. So, anyway, regardless, yeah. So let's just look at the art. There's some more of that. I guess he did that a lot, more than I remember. It's very cool. Those long panels, they're just so nice. Yeah. I actually occasionally use long panels like that, and I think a few different artists inspired me to do that. I think Bill Willingham, George Perez, and this guy, Jim Starlin himself. Yeah, I think gave me the ideas of using these nice long panels. They're just very beautiful. Vertical panels, that is. Yeah. Long vertical panels. Great lighting right there. Actually, I love this shot right there too. The way both of them look there, just so cool. Very neat. Very quirky looking character though. This guy here, I have to say. But it works so well, especially with this weird cosmic story. It gets even trippy at times, so it works too well. Yeah, there is a definitely quirky quality to his art. There's another great shot with I love it when he does like shots with lots of characters. They always look very cool. Yeah. Very, very cool. All right, let's keep going. Okay, looking through Warlock by Jim Starlin. I like these little page divider things, or issue dividers. It looks cool. It's like an infinity stone, infinity gem. I think they call them stones in the comic. I can't remember. Oh wait, or is it infinity gem in the comic and stones in the movies? I don't know. Whatever. I love this guy's inking on his work. It's looser, but it's so organic, and it almost gives it more of a realism. I don't know. Like there's at times there's almost like a slight Sienkiewicz vibe even, but or the guy Sienkiewicz was originally Neil Adams in some spots, you know, like. But whatever it is, it's just beautiful organic quality. I wonder what it would have looked like if he inked an entire issue. You know, I mean, I don't know. Would I have liked it as much? I'm not sure, but maybe just as much. But it's just beautiful looking inks. His name's Wise or Weeze or something. Wise, I think. I don't know. Weise. That's just his last name. And Starlin, of course, is the penciler. Beautiful stuff. There's more paneling like that. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. This almost has a Frank Miller layout. One large panel and then these smaller ones on the side. Very Frank Miller-esque layout. Although he'd probably shift this up a little and leave negative space there, and then shift this down a little and leave negative space right up here. So it'd be kind of like that. Because he loved negative space. And you know what? He was really good at it. Is really good at it. He knows how to use negative space very, very well. I have to say. Anywho, let's just keep going. I might go a little quicker now just because I am taking a bit of time. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful work. Wonderbar. Yeah. Some nice shading there again. There, I like that. Very cool. Look at that. That looks nice. This looks like, I wonder if it's a different inker now. The work looks a little different here. Yeah, I think it might be a different inker. Yeah, I'm not sure how many inkers he had on this or not. There's a nice divider again there. Oh, that's a great shot. Very moody. It's in some sort of bar or something. Some cosmic bar. He looks great. Yeah, it's great. Those big hands. It looks cool. Very cool. Ooh, I like the use of zipatone or electrotone or whatever they called it. I believe it's zipatone in Canada, electrotone in America. I think that was the case. It's so nice looking there, and here too. Actually, I don't know if if it's too fine to catch on cam or not, but that looks cool. Yeah. So that gray there is like dots, you know. Same here and around here. Oh, very nice, very nice. There hasn't been use of much at all in the whole book, actually. At least not that I can recall. That was a nice use of it. It had a cool look to it. That's a neat page. There we go. That's like him. That's all happening now. I guess him talking, or is he just looks like he's talking to the camera. Who knows what effect this shows? Yeah, maybe something like that. It's a neat layout. It's cool. I like that. Very cool. That's a great shot. Great. Okay, I'm just gonna go a little quicker now just to get through the book. Again, I'm seeing Miller, Frank Miller quality. This whole page feels like Miller. That's insane. Yeah. Even this has some Frank Miller stuff going on. I'm wondering where, was he an influence on Miller to a certain extent? Like with the lighting, the shadows? Whoop, hitting the camera. And just the way, the big panel, the 3 panels down the side, the way this is lit. This is like so early Frank Miller to, well, even Sin City stuff to a certain extent. But, well, it's kind of early now. I mean, geez, even that was a while ago, eh? But, yeah, I'm seeing some stuff there. Interesting. Never noticed anything like that before. It's interesting. I haven't noticed that with Starlin. I guess I hadn't really looked for it too much or anything. I'm just noticing it now. There's definitely some Miller qualities well, at least to that. And there was another bit that reminded me somewhere in here. Oh, it was just the layout. That's right. Oh, that's pretty cool. Again, the shot with like many characters. It's just he just knows how to do it in a way that's very cool to look at. Like, they're all being thrown around by Warlock, by the awesome power of Warlock. Indeed. All right. Some sort of cosmic shark. That's cool. Looks like. Could they have at least made him make it look a little more alien? I don't know. Back on Tellus, they call this a shark. Well, okay. They call it a shark. Okay, I wonder why. And it looks just like a shark. That's why. Some sort of space creature that is called a shark, and it is a shark. Anyway. Yeah, that's cool. That's a great shot, actually. Nice inking in that one, too, actually. It's very cool. That's a neat entity. Being. Very cool. Back in the day, Christopher Reeves could have played him. I'm seeing a lot of Reeves there and here, actually. That just happens to be those 2 shots, but especially here, actually. Yeah. Bit of both. Yeah. Man, Christopher Reeves was the perfect Superman. I just watched a reaction video. There was 2 people watching the first Christopher Reeve Superman for the first time, and they loved it, actually, which is great. And seeing them watch it, and I got to see all the scenes again. I'm just like, wow, for its time especially, but it's still just a great movie. 1 and 2. I mean, the casting, like unbelievable. Like how much more perfect casting can you get? I don't know. I just think Christopher Reeves is like still one of the best casts for Superman ever. He is so good. I've yet to see, of course, what Corn Sweat's going to be like when that comes out. But I've got good feelings, though. I'm liking a lot of what I see so far. This is great. Yeah, we've got the Defenders or the Avengers. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, actually. Yeah, they showed a clip just recently from the film, and it looks really good. I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good. This is cool. Yeah, I just think I prefer the Warlock stuff. It's neat that they're in here, but I think this could it still been in Warlock, or could this have been from an actual Avengers book? That's cool though. That's again many characters, kind of cool. But I prefer like his aliens to me just always look really cool. Like I love seeing his aliens. I'd rather see a big splash page of many fighting aliens than the superheroes when he draws it. You know what I mean? Maybe if it's Alex Ross or George Perez, maybe the superheroes would look cooler. I don't know, but his style and the way he does stuff and the way he does aliens, it looks great. Big fighting scenes with aliens always tend to look really cool. Alright. Yeah. It almost looks like another artist. Interesting. Jim Starlin. Oh, Joe Rubinstein. Joseph Rubinstein. Joe Rubinstein did the finish art. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, he's a good inker. Yeah, I met him a couple times at a con. Very, very, very cool guy. Yeah, very nice guy. He actually gave me 2 prints for free because we had talked for a while, and he seemed to enjoy our conversation. I guess we had a lot of similar opinions on certain artists. We talked about how I'm trying to remember his name. John Buscema working on Conan the Barbarian. How the best combo there was in terms of inkers over his work was Tony DeZuniga inking John Buscema. You know, we both thought that was just amazing. I called it magic. He called it perfection, and then he repeated, "Yeah, magic. It's magic." Was it magic? I think that's the word I used. Yeah. I should show you some of that stuff. Actually, that's what I should do because I have Conan omnibuses, and I specifically bought 2 of them, I believe, or was it 3? I don't know. 2 that had mostly that combination. Tony DeZuniga inking over John Buscema. Buscema. I don't know how you pronounce him. Buscema. How does one pronounce his name? Who knows? Tomato. I don't think that applies with names. I don't think that applies with names, no. Joan. It's like, no, it's John. Well, I'll call you Joan. That's the way I prefer saying it. No, it's John. But yeah, so these are pages not used. Actually, these were I guess it was an incomplete story, or one that they were gonna do, and then I don't know. I guess they didn't do it, so they included that as well, which is cool. You get to see pencils, but I don't think it's Starlin though. Doesn't look like Jim Starlin to me. This one. I don't know. Yeah, I think, or is it? I don't know. I guess some of it kind of does, but does it say? I'm not sure. Maybe it says here somewhere. But anyway, regardless, it's cool to have it in there. It's something that was unpublished. You can see some pencils. Maybe a continuation of the story that was never done. Yeah, it doesn't look Starlin-esque to me. I don't know. I'm sure if it's just hard to read in this lighting here for some reason. But on the black here. But yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, this is cool. Black and white versions. Look how great that looks. Some of this work almost looks better in black and white. Like, look at that. The craftsmanship. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it looks just like that light. Like, what the heck? That stuff in the background looks so cool. Yeah, very, very cool. There is some zipatone right there, actually. So I guess there was zipatone used throughout, or letrotone, or whatever we want to call it. I guess there probably was. I just noticed it there. Yeah, this stuff looks great. Yeah, black and white. Yeah, it looks great. It's great. This is great. It's great. All right. So that was it. That was these are Silver Surfer covers. Not sure. I'm sure there's a reason why they're in here. Was it by Starlin? I don't know. Or maybe he appeared in those. Maybe I don't know. But anyway, the character. This is the cover actually of the book that I have. It was special edition. There we go. Warlock special edition, and it had a few of the issues in there. First 4 or whatever it is, right? There's another special edition one. Probably the next 4. That kind of thing. These are the special edition ones. So yeah, that was printed on nice paper. Like, you didn't have those dots and everything. Like, the way stuff looked in the 80s, or was it 80s? Yeah. You didn't have all those, like, Yeah. So it was nicely printed. So you have nice solid colors and gradients if they had any, but usually still solid tones. But it was, yeah, pretty much the way this book looks, actually. It was on good paper. Not maybe a little less glossy than this, but it was very good quality paper. It was very, very good. Very good. Very good, my friends. Very good. That's kind of cool. A lot of fun. There's almost a golden quality, Michael Golden quality to some of it. Yeah, just a little bit here and there. Yeah. So these are covers. Lots of cool covers. Let's go. Just the Spider-Man for some reason had a. I've been looking at some Arthur Adams again. That almost had a Arthur Adams vibe, at least the way he draws Spider-Man. Yeah, the webbing and whatnot. Yeah. Very cool. I like it. I like seeing old stuff. A lot of people don't like it. At times, I absolutely love it, depending on how it's done. That's so-so. That's not so bad. I remember there was that one right there. That's a really cool one there. There was another one too that I thought was pretty good, similar to that. But, maybe that was the one I'm thinking about. But that's it, man. And these are alternate covers. I know that artist. He's pretty cool. Is it Andy Granoff? Maybe I can't remember. It might say somewhere. But anyway, regardless, that's about it. That's the back of the book. That's that picture actually. That I thought was nicely colored in the other. So that's it, man. That's Warlock by Jim Starlin. We just went through the entire book. Thank you for watching. Much love and peace. Take care, everyone.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It's the only decent thing to do, you know.